interactive graffiti projection that's supposed to be out on the street. And what I do is I make a system that goes on a tripod so that I can deploy actually street lamps. If you unscrew street lamps, there's a power plug in almost every single street lamp, so you can directly plug into a power on a street lamp and project across the street. And the system is designed so that if the cops come, you can just pick up the tripod and run away within 2 seconds. Except I've never had any police really arrest me for anything. In San Jose, there was an asshole cop who just stood in front of the computer, the projection, to prevent the projection, you know. But I never had any really much trouble.
Was that an official part of 01, or were you one of the guests?
I was an unofficial guest.
Good, all the better.
And the security there were blocking the projection because they were like, "You're not a part of this." Even though the head of San Jose Public Arts Commission came over to me and was like, "I love this," you know, so that's so funny, you know. and then, so yeah, the system works by half the time either I make the shadow with a light source, or I use existing street lamps to make the shadow onto a wall. When the light hits the wall, people walk by, they create a shadow, and the projection sees that shadow and picks up an image of the shadow, and the monsters eat it. There's many different monsters.
So it's picking up the shadows that people are projecting?
Yeah, people are projecting themselves.
Okay, I see.
Each monster is based on a sin, actually. This is the one that eats too much. Gluttony, I have greed, in which he takes up people and sticks it into his pocket. And I have another one which picks up your shadow, and then the monster is a blob and it tries to pretend to be you for a little bit, and then it picks up more people. However, the outside one, the non-interactive one, where there's a huge swarm of them going up the wall, is actually more popular because I discovered that just projecting something where it looks like it appears is not enough for the whole, almost like, beauty of something being really there. It has to interact with the architecture in the most subtle way. And the outside one is designed to emerge perfectly from the ground, and then disappear perfectly at the ceiling. And so it makes it look like the monsters are emerging from the ground and going upstairs, kind of thing. And people enjoy that so much more than just having a projection appear in the middle of nowhere. It's quite interesting. It's kind of like Jennifer Steinkamp, where she has the tree projections perfectly on the level of the ground. That connection with the architecture is really important, you know. The code is very long. The image capture stuff, that's easy. That's like a couple pages. The actual complex thing was actually the movement. The entire physical shape of the monster is completely composed out of springs, a spring mass physics system, and that's how you get to such a fluid pulling and movement of the monsters themselves. And each tentacle is composed out of very small, minute springs, tiny springs throughout the entire system, and springs in between to make it thick. There's springs between the center spine and the outer shapes which are drawn, and which are so it creates complex forces. And also there's an intelligence behavior inside the monsters which always has to calm down. There's about maybe 50 different timers within inside each monster, which counts down different behaviors. Each tentacle has its own behavior in which it seeks out the shapes, the shadows. Has its own personal intelligence and seeking behavior. The monsters have its own unique movement behavior.
What if it doesn't find what it's looking for?
It just floats around.
Oh.
The outside one is actually 64 of these monsters floating. So the entire system is completely scalable to any amount. And just to get the fluid motion of it was just the most ridiculous springs mesh system in order to create the animation.
So you wrote this all in processing?
Completely all in processing.
And that includes the artificial intelligence programming, the computer vision, and the graphics.
Everything. I like it because it doesn't look like it was made in processing at all. Actually, I think Casey doesn't like it because it doesn't look. I mean, I worked in Japan for a while, and they wanted me to make a piece, and in processing, and I made something that didn't look like processing. They were like, "Can you make it look more like processing?" I was like, "Processing is not a style, you know." But it has become a style. It's actually the weird part, you know. Processing has become a style. So,
you're right about that.